Hello lovely planners, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy that you're back here for the second video of my series 2020 wedding trends. Today we're going to be discussing the decor trend for 2020 weddings. So let's get started. The first trend I'd like to talk about is the minimalist trend. A lot of people, when they hear minimalist, it's like, oh, it's boring, it's not attractive to the eye, it's just too simple for me. I beg to differ. If used properly with the proper color palette, this minimalist look can be outrageous. People are gonna say, oh my god, this wedding was so classy. Having less things around you makes it very clean and fresh, very like dreamy. It is not overcrowded. Having a small amount of decoration changes the focus of the room towards what's most important, the bride and the groom. A minimalist look reflects itself by using the fonts used on the invitation are more like white and black type of invitation. Very simple, very classic, no fluff, no extra punch of colors, just very settled. Also, that minimalist look can be found on the table by using less cutlery, less glasses. Just having, instead of having a multitude of glasses for different kinds of wines they're going to be serving, why not just use like one type of wine and have one glass? It really is bringing down the whole planning to a minimal. It is a great look to have for somebody who's more of a budget-wise type of wedding. By having a minimalist look, your flowers are less intricate. Maybe your table center is just a simple, pretty vase with like 1 or 3 flowers coming out of it, which brings down the cost of your wedding dramatically. There's ways to make a minimalist wedding so warm and inviting, even without having all of that warmth coming from like the amount of objects you have. Instead of going for like this flower arch, why not going with just a copper arch with just a little bit of flowers on each side, or maybe even just like lights around it? To me, the minimalist wedding is really reflected by all of the paper that you find all around the wedding. Is simple white and black, very minimal writing, just what's important in it. No like graphic, just like a nice squirrely squiggly font. It's all about being simple and using less. Let me show you some example of what I'm talking about. Here's some stationery that are very minimalistic. Look how great this is. Check out our website. We have a lot of selection and the invitation and other stationeries you may need for your wedding. If you need something special, our graphic designer can assist you design something just for you. Here's a simple table sitting with a simple string of greenery with some lights. It's just very simple yet very inviting. And here what I was talking about by having just a simple arch. This one is a little bit more intricate. It's got that draping, but you see there's only 2 little bouquets of flower attached to it. That very gentle drape makes it so exquisite. And here's a perfect bouquet for that minimalist bride. Just some simple greenery, like my bouquet right here. Very simple. I love to have these in my house. It just goes so great with any type of venue you would have. They say it, sometimes less is more. So maybe this could be a great thematics for your wedding. I cannot talk about wedding theme without talking that boho vibe that's been going on for at least 3 years. The boho trend is still going really strong this next season. However, it has changed and it is less hippie boho and more classy chic boho. It's got that touch of bohemian look. However, it's elevated with those classic pieces, rich looking like cutlery, with the accent of like dry flowers and macrame. Again, if you want to go entirely boho, this is up to you. You're not out of trend here, but try giving it a touch of like chic or classic look. Look at these gorgeous bohemian looking style dress with that sparkly fabric. With just having that sparkling fabric makes it really chic and really rich. When it comes to the invitation, include maybe like a piece of raw silk to it with that watercolor, and still with a little bit of that flowery theme, dry flowers included to your invitation, but keep it white, keep it simple with just a little bit of like bohemian touch. Why not using a nice white, crisp white table with all of that golden cutlery and white everything, and added some pop of color and those bohemian type colors. This gives it again just a little touch of that bohemian Moroccan type of look, but it's still very chic and classy. The next trend I'd like to talk about is that eco-friendly recycling trend. This focuses on also a minimalist look, but more so of a rental or even like thrifting things to include to your wedding. A lot of people are repurchasing old items from brides and grooms that already celebrated their wedding. It gives it a more eclectic look. Of course, if you're going thrifting for your glasses or even for your plates, you cannot expect to have all of the guest table settings will be the same. You may have 4 or 5 of the same thing, just disperse them throughout your guests. Like maybe on table 5 you'll have 1, 6 and 7 you'll have like the other ones. Just like spread them around so that the look is like a very consistent eclectic look. Just take your time and find all of the things that you need either on Kijiji, Facebook, or like even at the thrift store closest to you. One of the strongest trends this year as far as wedding decorations is going to be the wildflower effect. I mean wild and also dry. A lot of like local flower usage for this type of wedding, such as lavender, mixed in with the more traditional roses. The wildflower look has a lot of grass using, a lot of dry effect. There's a lot to do with this trend, especially when it comes to decoration. Because all of your flowers are mostly dry, they last for a long time. So you can spend a little bit more money on them so that your guests can bring them home and enjoy them for months to come. What I like about wildflowers, it's really inexpensive. They're mostly grown locally. They're not using overseas transportation, which brings down your eco footprint way down. The colors and choices are super nice. Here's some example of what I'm talking about when I say wildflower wedding. I mostly want to focus on that lilac flower, which is one of my favorite ones. I just think it's so beautiful, and the lilac mixed in with the green grass and the like dusty beige grass is just like breathtaking. There is more than like wildflower on it, but it's very, very wild looking. It's less structured, more eclectic. You can also see this bouquet right here, which is a lot of our typical childhood flowers. You can see also this example of a beautiful table setting with flowers and little vases. This looks like something you would pick on your own when you were little kids and gift it to your mom, and she would just put it there at the middle of the dinner table. Why not going all out and having these like dripping flowers with some like leaves, just like this background right here, made with mostly wildflowers. Again, this works really well also with that eco-friendly trend that's going on, so it's kind of like a mesh of the two together would be just perfect. The last thematic I'd like to introduce to you is that English rose garden thematic. This is something that's a little bit more classic. The trend is on big flowers, big roses, a lot of like vintage items, a lot of like frames, detailed framing, maybe even like a place where like the bride and groom sits to welcome everybody. Again, here the use of the richer color and then match it with golden brass color to bring all of this richness out. I would also suggest that you use some type of flowery pattern for your stationery to make it very English rose. When I think of English garden wedding, I think of like Jane Austen type of movie where everything is like extravagant and like the flower quantity is enormous. Obviously, this is not a wedding to do if you are on a tight budget, because the English they like to be extravagant, and to achieve this look, you need an extreme amount of flowers. It's more of a structured wedding where everything fits and matches together. To the plates and the underplates, to the cutlery, to the tea afterwards, everything must match. And why not pairing it with this nice classic type of like tea after dinner? I think this look is very girly. It's very traditional when it comes to wedding. However, it's probably one of my favorite because there's so much flowers. And I love having a wedding with a lot of flowers. It just looks great. This is the kind of wedding where you'd want to do like an entire wall of like huge flowers, maybe from Big Flowers. I'm gonna link them below. They're an awesome company here in Montreal who makes giant flowers, and this would work so good for an English theme wedding. A good idea to make it a little bit more special would be to use a little bit of the black colors into the decors. All of that flowery, rich colorness is cut with that black and white accent color. Well, I hope you liked this video and that you found this useful. Maybe you found your wedding theme, maybe not. Let me know below what you're thinking of using, or what is your original idea. Or maybe you decided like us to have a really crazy theme wedding like Star Wars. Yes, I did have a Star Wars wedding, but it was tasteful. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell to never miss any of my videos. And as usual, if you liked this video, please like it and share it with your friends. Till next time, keep planning!